What's going on with the Big 12 this year, do you think?
What do you mean? Like,
With all the close games, everybody's net ranking being very significant.
It's the best conference in the NCAA.
Why do you think that?
Because there's a lot of great players, but I feel like just the athleticism, the ups and downs of how fast the game can go. And I feel like every team takes pride in that defense. I feel like a lot of other conferences might not take as much pride and really rely on their defense, but I feel like every team in this conference takes pride in defense, and defense wins games and championships.
Well, and you guys kind of proved that last year at the NCAA tournament. I mean, because that's the mismatch you have is they haven't seen your defense.
No, exactly. I mean, I came from a high school that prided itself on defense, and we won a bunch of state championships. So just knowing that even if your offense isn't working or it's not going well that day, just knowing that you can rely on your defense. Like I said, defense wins championships.
What makes TCU a tough matchup?
They crash very hard. They have a lot of athleticism, big guards as well, and they push the fast break as well. They got a lot of fast break points, but I mean, knowing us and what we've worked on yesterday and today is just stopping them in their fast break transition and setting up our half-court defense, which is hard for a lot of people to score on.
Mike Miles has been playing at a really high level for them over these last couple of weeks. What have you seen from him? What makes him tough to guard?
Transition buckets. He's been attacking a lot this year. Hasn't been shooting that much from the outside, but we know that he can do that as well. But our focus is just making everything hard on him. My focus is just making it the hardest games you ever have to play against.
Where do you feel you guys are at in terms of the toughness level you want at this point? I mean, you've gone through a humbling road loss. You've gone through overcoming a 20-0 run and winning on the road. I mean, where do you feel you're at? Because I know that's something you guys pride yourself on.
Yeah, I mean, every game is a new game and a new challenge for us. So just being proud at just taking one game at a time. I feel like Coach has done a great job with that coming into this Big 12 conference. And just saying that there's going to be highs and lows of this conference because it's a really great conference. But just knowing that just take one game at a time. If you lose one, don't dwell on it. Just come up the next day and continue to embark on our habits that we preach on a day-on-day basis. Just knowing that we just got to stay together.
The first 10 minutes of that Oklahoma game looked like as confident you guys have been in any game I've watched the last 2 years. What leads into that?
Just the preparation and knowing that we're all together. I feel like just knowing that we're together and we play for one another definitely helps us a lot. We have a great group of guys that gel together on and off the court. So just having that and knowing that we can come into any arena and punch the other team in the mouth, knowing that it is a hostile environment, but knowing that if we stay together, we can push through and get the win.
You mentioned in high school it was preached to you how important defense was. Did you have that coming in? Because a lot of young guys, you know, we love to shoot, we love to score. When did you become that type of defender that you are now?
I feel like I've always had that. When I was at Minnesota, I had that. Coming here, I had that. I mean, you have to have it playing on TJ and KG and the coaching staff that we had. But yeah, I think it's always been distilled in me coming from high school that Dave Thorson, Todd Anderson, just instilling that in myself and me taking a bunch of pride. I mean, very athletic guard that can guard multiple positions and taking pride of not being kind of punked on that, just knowing that I'm not a liability, that whoever's going to get switched onto me is going to have to give that ball up right away because I'm not going for any of that. So just knowing that, I take a lot of pride in that.
I think there's been a lot of games several games this week where road teams have come into opposing arenas and been able to make big runs early in the game. Even when you make a big run, is there an element of like we can't rest on the fact that we made this big run because this other team's always going to make a comeback, it seems like.
No.
And every game's ended up being close.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it happened with Oklahoma. I mean, came out very fast and they got their run. But again, the game's a bunch of a lot of momentum and emotion. So just knowing that like this conference, you're not going to see days and nights that they're going to be games that they're going to be beat by 20 or 30 because these teams are too good to go up and then kind of have that lead. Because every team is going to continue to just crawl their way back. So,
How do you explain how hot Caleb's been lately?
He's been on fire. He's 5 for 9 in Baylor, and then I think he's 5 for 9 last game as well. So he's been shooting the lights out, and we can continue to feed him and ride that momentum because he's shooting at a high clip.
The grind